be calling you a radical. So a guy called me this morning and he says, I work for Google, I have for years. He says, I didn't find out till Fukushima till a couple years ago. And I got caught up on your videos, and so I started digging in. Why don't you have millions of views? And he says, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. I talked to some people and they said, anybody who's going to talk about the 10-year anniversary of Fukushima and cover-up, they're going to nudge you towards QAnon. Now, you know, I never went down the QAnon path. I've rejected it harder than anyone. So I says, okay, I'll try this. So I put up my same video that I put up every year that Dave Parrish made, and I added some of my activism in it. I just tagged it, Fukushima meltdowns, 10 years of cover-up, 360 days of cover-up. Didn't even speak in it. No, there's no words in it, no nothing. It's just showing all my, including a bone marrow transplant, you know, some of my incredible activism over 10 years. So it takes forever to upload. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You can see it's going through the Google machine. And you know how, like, if you even put in COVID on anything, they stamp COVID link. What comes up? I've never had this, ever. Of all videos. I put this same video up every single year. Dave Parrish made that video. How many years ago? And it comes up QAnon. So, heads up to Durnford, heads up to anybody. And he says, oh no, you're all over this. He says, this is an orchestrated cover-up and a smear campaign against you. He says, it's well planned out. And I says, individual against me or against... He says, both. He says, no, against you. He says, this is a full-blown... Google is smearing you. Google is... Well, I says... They promoted the videos where people... I mean, I had a central line hanging out my jugular vein. My chest split open. Had people... And they promoted videos of people saying that I was faking cancer. When I'm in a bone marrow with a central line hanging out. Remember when I used to stand right here and I'd do those pop-ups and put all that great information? That was Google's software. Google software. I used their software, followed every rule they ever had. They took them down. He says, so I says, well, keep me posted. He says, I will. He says, there's a bunch of us here that we're paying attention to your videos. And he says, that's what they're going to do. And he says, this is coming right from the horse's mouth. Wow. Well, we know who runs Google. The Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. So, there it is. So illegal to someone who's in, well, I've been in critical condition. I was for well over 3,000 days. You know, trying to save you. And anybody that doesn't think the cover-up of Fukushima is real, you're out of your fucking mind. It's the most obvious thing in the history of the fucking mankind. It's the greatest event in humankind. I mean, full-blown out fucking meltdowns. Wow. So, all hands on deck. Stay tuned.